Action.
Hello and welcome. This is so much fun. I love being like the cheesy game show announcer here at the beginning of the show. As you guys know, I'm Dan Stewart, and with me today I have Mr. Brian Rail. Say hi, Brian.
Hello, hello.
Maya Paveza. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Maya. Melissa McCone. Welcome.
Hi.
Yeah, cool. I love that we're all here today. So we started a little project 8 weeks ago. 8 weeks. I can't even believe it's been 8 weeks. So welcome to the 8th episode of What to Say Now. So the 4 faces you see on the screen right now, all of us have one thing in common. We believe that the world gets better through conversation. We believe that no matter where you are today in your career, no matter where you are in your personal life, the path to where you want to be lies through other people and the conversations that you have to have with them. Have with them. That was well said, right? I got all the extra words in there for you today. So today is July 7th. It's July 7th. And as always, there's interesting things going on in the world that we get to talk about. Weeks ago, 8 weeks. 8 weeks, yes. Who was that smart guy? That was me. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. We have a lot going on in the world, right? Brian, you're just outside of Houston in Conroe, Texas.
Yeah.
Maya, you're in some place that maybe it's thawed already. I don't know. Do you still have snow on the ground?
No, we definitely don't in the middle of a heat wave.
Yeah, excellent.
Outside Philly.
Yeah, and Melissa, I know you're in paradise. You're where everyone wants to be except for the bears. Lake Tahoe,
we
right?
love our bears. Love them.
I don't love your bears, not even a little bit, right? So what we've seen happen just over the past few days, let's think of what we've all experienced together. Was 4th of July for you different this year than it was in years past? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, it was different for me too. Normally, our tradition in our family is to go to the office in Safety Harbor and to watch the fireworks out over Tampa Bay. It's usually beautiful. Like, we love to be out there. We love to watch the fireworks. And this year, they didn't have the show, right? It was shut down for COVID. Probably the case for almost everybody watching this today is the big municipal show didn't happen. And what that caused us to realize is that a lot of our neighbors are willing to fund their own little municipal show, right? Did you have that happen in your neighborhood?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
in Texas,
It was the first year Delaware was fully legal and people knew what they could use.
It could have it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And Brian, I imagine in Texas, it's like that probably every night, just fireworks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or at least gunfire. Yeah, okay, good. Now, I don't know, though, about Lake Tahoe. I've never been out there. Are you in an area where you heard and saw lots of fireworks?
Well, I was actually very grateful. There was very limited personal fireworks here because we're in such a hugely, wildfire zone.
Yeah.
And so, I was very nervous when they weren't going to actually have their shows that people would come in and, make bad choices. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But we held it together and we're still here. So
Awesome. All right, so the reason I'm bringing this up, the reason I'm bringing up fireworks on July 7th is because this is still a great conversation opportunity. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, I need to reach out to the people in my database, what we've just talked about is great content for you. Hey, I'm curious, what was the 4th of July like for you this year? Is it different? Were your neighbors also setting off crazy amounts of fireworks? You'll get lots of engagement there. It's a great conversation starter, right? So you can send that as an email. You can send it out as a text. One of my favorite strategies is to send voicemail drops around holidays, right? So, you could have sent a message here right before the 4th of July. Hey, hope you guys have plans for a safe 4th of July. I know I'm looking forward to staying away from the crowds this year, but still thinking about my friends. Anyway, would love to catch up. Give me a call. Bye. Right? That's simple and easy. The message is out there. The conversation gets started, right? So if you're watching this and you have not yet communicated to your database about the 4th of July, it is not too late on July 7th. You can do that. I encourage you to. Next topic that we're going to talk about today is Oh, I love this one. I love this one so much because so many of my friends, so many members of this group and other Facebook groups have been all over this in the past 24 hours. And that would be the post from Suze Orman about real estate. Have you
Yep.
seen this post?
Yep.
Yeah. Have all three of you seen it?
It's been blowing up.
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen here just to show this real quick, because it is kind of crazy, I think. So let's share the screen real quick. Okay, so jump over to the right page here. She says, I would absolutely wait until September, October, November of this year before I even consider buying a home. Those are strong words, right? One thing we know about real estate is it's local. So for a national figure to say something that people all over the country, presumably the world, would see is obviously taking a bit of risk. And then it descends into downright stupidity, in my opinion. She's saying, let's say you paid 300 grand for a home today, and your next door neighbor is out of work due to coronavirus and can't afford to make mortgage payments. Oh my God, the sky is falling, right? Their house gets foreclosed on. The value of your house is cut by 50%. Like, this is absolute madness, right? Anybody who's ever bought a home should know that's not how appraisals work. Anybody who's even paid remotely close attention to the real estate market in 2020 knows it's nothing like 2007 or 2008, right? So, you can come find this post on Facebook here, just like I did, and you'll see there are, we've got 1.7 thousand comments. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of real estate agents have said, what have you done? Like, you just tarnished your credibility tremendously.
Ryan in there.
You're talking out of it, right? You need to stop that butt talking stuff, Suze Orman.
Somebody give her a gas X.
a lot of people called her on this one, and I think that's really great, right? Let's look here. John Masillo. I know Johnny Mo. He's a buddy of mine. Tamara Nunza, another buddy. I love to see all these comments here from people I know getting engaged on social media to
Ryan.
make these kind of comments. It's really, really smart to do that. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up as a topic for you to share with people in your database is because it gives you an opportunity to communicate your knowledge and value as a true expert, right? So the way I would suggest doing this today is first educate yourself on the idiocy of this post, and then send a text message to your past clients in Sphere, or send a short email and just say, hey, quick question for you. Have you ever heard of Suze Orman? ? Right? And just watch the replies come back to your text, right? Watch those people say yes and watch those people say no. And, all those people who say yes, you could say, did you see the idiocy she just posted? I'm really concerned she's tarnished her reputation here. Like,
well, she's a fan of Hay House, so you might want to wonder on that. It's a little woo-woo for somebody who's a financial guru.
Well, I'm not going to comment on all of that stuff, right? The important point here is this is a conversation opportunity for the people in your database. You can definitely use this as a thing to have conversations around. And interestingly, she posted that July 5th at 8:15 p.m. And today there's something where surprisingly she's doubling down on it. Right? So the idiocy continues. What's the point of being wrong when you can be absolutely dead wrong? I say so.
Go big or go home, right? I mean,
whatever. Yeah. And I mean, we've got people here like Dirk Zeller and Justin Seeby and people I've known in the industry for years that are calling her out on her stupidity here, right? So, think of the harm.
Well, they're writing a thesis. Like, there's a whole thesis there.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm thinking I'm going to make a petition to get her banned from the networks she's on.
Well, just think of the potential harm that exists here, right?
Oh,
there is
huge.
someone right now who's missing a tremendous opportunity to buy because they're taking advice from someone who's ill-informed. So your job as a professional who's committed to offering value, to serving as a fiduciary in the community you serve, is to let people know when there's a good opportunity to do things that are good for them, right? So again, I would encourage you to go ahead and send out that sort of a quick little message, right? So just again, quick question: do you know who Suze Orman is? Like, watch the replies come in. That'll be
Not anymore.
That'll be a lot of fun. So now I'm gonna go ahead.
Just real quick, Dan. I think one of the important aspects of having this conversation is to be well versed and knowledgeable in what's going on today. Because you're going to have the devil's advocate people saying, "Oh, well, yeah, of course the real estate agents are going to tell you to buy something because that's how they make their money."
Right.
So the salesperson thing, but going through, and I think we discussed this, Maya and I did on a show, like episode 4, where it was talking about foreclosures. And it's, okay, well, number one, you've got the CARES Act, and that allows for a forbearance of at least 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that started in April. So then nothing could even be started until November.
Right.
And that's if they don't extend it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at that point, the government's going to do something for remodifications or structuring or something. But even if they don't, they can't start anything until that point.
Right.
Well, then you can't do anything until you're 90 days late. And because the 90 days late doesn't start until November, that means nothing is going to happen until January, February.
Right.
Now you're 90 days late and they can start the process.
Sure.
In the state of Texas, which is where I'm at, that process is pretty quick. They can usually have the foreclosure done between 60, 90, and 120 days. That's still 2, 3, 4 months. That means next June.
Mm-hmm.
In other states, that process can take a year, year and a half, 2 years.
Yep.
So it's all local. You have to know what's going on in your area, and you have to be able to have that conversation with your prospects when they question you. Hey, of course you're going to tell me to buy a house because you're a real estate agent.
Yeah, but that's where she's defaming the entire industry and the realtors, because you're not a salesperson. And this is the problem, because the cynicism and this natural instinct to distrust real estate agents because it's sales is the problem. She's feeding right into it. Real estate agents are consultants. They're advisors. It's not their job to tell you what to do. It's to help you make an informed decision.
So let's slow down there a little bit though, right? Because I think we've all met an agent or two who
there are some
probably
rats.
prefer shouldn't be in the industry. Right?
Oh yeah.
So we get a bad rep.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason real estate professionals are ranked lower than used car salesmen and attorneys, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's sad, and yet it's a reality that we have to see is out there. So,
but you would think an educated, intelligent woman like Suze Orman would be able to differentiate between.
Well, I mean, you look at any sort of financial guru, Dave Ramsey, Suze Orman. You look at people in that space, and really what they're in the business of is selling books. Yeah. They've generated an audience, and now they're monetizing that audience. They don't actually earn their living by giving financial advice. They earn their living by talking about giving financial advice, right?
Right.
So
like Dave Ramsey's Real Estate Network.
Well, I know a lot of people who are endorsed providers. Like, it's okay. A lot of ELOs generate good business through Dave Ramsey's network. I don't have anything necessarily against either of these people. I just want to say, hey, if you're a doctor, you probably know more about medical issues than someone who comments on health, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, real estate is a profession that allows people to become truly expert. I believe that a dedicated, sincere fiduciary in any market in the country is going to be a better source of data than any national pundit who's in the business of selling books, right? So my whole point is that this is an opportunity today for you to show up to those people in your database as that well-informed local fiduciary expert, right? And for God's sakes, call BS when you see it, right? There's BS here, you got to call it out.
Yeah.
So I want to say hi to Sean Carpenter, to Anthony Malafronte, to Ryan Bocross, to a bunch of my buddies here in the group who are chiming in here. Ryan, I actually read your response to Suze on her post there yesterday. So kudos to you for diving in and kicking back there a little bit. That's well done. So next topic, and we're running a little long at this point, guys, so bear with me. But this next topic I think is really important. because we're seeing in a lot of parts of the country, where I live in Florida, where you live in Texas, Brian, we're starting to think, oh my gosh, are we going to be in lockdown again? What the heck is going on with the COVID? Yeah, right. So that fear is starting to rise up. And the first place that we have to confront that fear is within ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first place that starts to do damage is when it prevents us from doing the things that we know we should be doing. So my word of advice on this is whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Please do your part personally to stay safe. I think personally that whether someone wears a mask or not should be a completely separate issue from, what we need to do as a nation to provide security for our fellow human being. I come from a family of veterans, like people I'm related to fought and died for the freedoms that we enjoy every single day. I have great respect for those personal freedoms. And yet I have trouble reconciling the price that they were asked to pay with objecting to the price of having to wear a mask, right? These are people who were pulled out of their homes and asked to go to war to fight and die. They literally gave everything there is to give. And I personally know people who feel so put out to be asked to wear a mask in public. Is just, come on, how many global pandemics have we been through before? Even if it doesn't make a difference, put on your mask, people, just do it, right? That's my opinion, right? And I know for a fact that in sharing that opinion with you, some of you are like, go Dan, and some of you are like, screw this guy, he's an idiot. I'm not ever going to talk to that guy again, right? So we're in a time when there are polarizing topics, and we're in a season where it's only going to get more polarizing as we push through the end of the year, right? Every time there's national elections, we see this sort of thing happen. So Brian, I'm going to call you out here. Is that okay?
All right.
Okay. Right as we were starting this session, he goes, you know what? I'm going to change my shirt. He was wearing a Dallas Cowboys shirt, right? That's a team affiliation. Okay. So whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, it's become somewhat of a team affiliation. So I'm going to ask you to consider the difference between your personal convictions and the value of having conversations that help people get what they want. Okay.
Okay.
So there's a way that we can comment about political issues without alienating people, right? The moment we do things like call names, the moment we declare things are always or never, we create more polarization. We pull each other further apart instead of bringing ourselves closer together. Mm-hmm. So I know for a fact that in your personal life right now, you're either A, annoyed by someone's political opinions being expressed to you, or B, annoying someone with the political opinions you're expressing to them. Okay, there's like zero opportunity for you to be in any other group there. So I'm going to just reemphasize a framework here that I've taught previously. When I feel because, right? That's the way you let the pressure out of the conversation. That's the way you create a place for them to save face. So I'll give you a good example. My daughter is an elite gymnast. She goes to the gym full time and she does school virtually, right? So this means there are hours at a stretch where you're sitting in the gym with other parents watching the kids, right? And there's usually a parent there who wants to talk politics. And, the simple insertion of I feel because can you let you out of that situation in a really grateful way, right? So you know what, when you or anybody else brings up politics in a situation like this, I always feel like, wow, that's such a great thing to talk about, but not here, right? And I feel that way because I want our kids to all get along and I want us to get along and I don't want there to be any disagreements between us, right? So something like that tells them, oh, this person may or may not agree or disagree with me, but this isn't a topic they're willing to discuss right now. So the same framework. Mm-hmm. The same framework is super useful anytime you've got a person in your life, a child, a spouse, right? Where there's a behavior that you would prefer isn't happening and it's showing up. You know, when you leave your dishes on the table and you don't scrape your plate and put them in the dishwasher, I really feel like you don't respect all the things that we do here for you, because, you know, we don't ask you to do a ton, but we did ask and you agreed that you would do this. Do you think you could do it? Like, that goes a lot farther than you left your plate on the table again, right? A lot farther. So that's what we've got today for What to Say Now. I want to thank each of you for joining us. Few announcements here as we move towards wrapping up. Next week, What to Say Now is moving to its new day, which is Tuesday. So every Tuesday at 2 p.m., the group has let us know that's the best time for you guys to watch. So that's when the show will be live. I will encourage you, if you're watching this on my personal page, to go to facebook.com/groups/what to say now. Myself, the team you see here with me, and our writing staff monitor this group, and we're happy to help you through whatever sticky communication situations you find yourself in. So recap for today, we covered 3 things, right? It's not too late to tell Suze Orman she's a moron, right? And it's not too late to communicate your expertise to your database. It's not too late to wish people a happy 4th of July, right? You can do that easily by asking them questions about what was different for them in the way they celebrated the 4th this year, right? And then finally, we've got this issue of fear. Are we going back on lockdown? We don't know. Understand that people are sensitive about this. Understand that tensions are running high for some people, and use that framework of when you, I feel, because, to help you through those sticky communication situations.
Yeah.
So Maya, any last parting words? Anything you want to add?
Don't forget to vote. That's all I'm going to say. We have primaries today. So yeah, no,
Right.
I'll have a few thoughts on Suze Orman. I'll put them together in writing at some point, because
Okay.
what would you expect, right?
All right. How about you, Melissa? Any final thoughts?
Just be awesome, be kind, you know, be a professional, and help your clients in the best possible way, and communicate regularly.
Yeah.
That's what they need. Everybody needs that right now.
Yeah, definitely. And quick prescription there for anybody who might need to know this. For people who know you, your past clients in your sphere, you should be sending 17 emails per year. That's once every 3 weeks. You should be sending 6 to 12 text messages once a quarter, touching base, birthdays, holidays, transaction anniversaries, that sort of content. Same with voicemail drops. And then I'd recommend 3 handwritten cards per year. So their birthday, their transaction anniversary, and then a holiday that you'd like to communicate with them about. So there's my quick prescription for you. Mr. Rail, Brian, do you have anything you'd like to add here?
This world needs less divisiveness and more love. So
Amen.
if you're contributing to that divisiveness, stop for a day or 2 and post love. You know, something inspirational, something meaningful, and let's see if we can get some of this hate out of social media and off of the news, and let's just do something good for other people.
Yeah, thank you.
Everybody take a deep breath.
That's a great way to wrap up. It really is, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's up to us, right?
That's right.
The phone's going to ring later today. How are you going to answer the phone, right? Yeah. Are you going to have the opportunity to hold the door for somebody? Are you going to have an opportunity to meet somebody for the first time and really make an impact? You know, who in your life can you call right now and lift up? I love
Courtesy
asking
and
those kinds of
kindness
questions.
are contagious.
Yep.
Kindness is. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you. I really appreciate everybody joining today, and I'll look forward to the next session on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.